What's up, y'all? Appreciate the supporters for watching that Man and Beast. No matter how small the supporters, I appreciate it. That shit was tough though. It was tough. So let's get into it, right? Man and Beast. Now, when I was talking about like the war with your lower nature and the fight in your lower nature, I'm not saying that the lower nature is all bad. And my mentor, he referred to it as the higher and lower self coming together as one. And I think I feel like that's what the primary message was in the movie 300. It was this higher and lower nature coming together in controlled force. Because back in them times, as I said in the other video, you couldn't be this slinging dick like that, being no king. They needed to be able to trust you. Now, when you look at other different esoteric movies, such as Game of Thrones, Jon Snow and the Wolf, he had a dualistic character to him. So did Leonidas. They had like dualistic characters to him. You know what I mean? But I was like, well, why always the wolf? You know what I mean? When you look at Anubis, why always the wolf? Why not any other beast? You know what I mean? Perhaps because that's the primary beast. But it's character traits to a wolf that's similarly to human conscious as far as like moral principles. So check this video out and I'm gonna come right back.
Why wise people often say to live life like a wolf? Well, first, wolves never eat carcasses. You'll never see a wolf performing in circus unlike other animals. Wolves don't mate with their mothers or siblings. A wolf typically mates with one wolf for life, and the females do the same. In the case of spouse's death, the remaining spouses mourn for not less than 3 months, sometimes even up to 12 months. The wolf is called a righteous son because it is the only animal that honors its parents when they grow old and can't keep up with the pack for hunting. The parents remain in the den while the younger wolves hunt for them and bring them food.
So there you have it. Perhaps that's my answer. They call the wolf the righteous son because he got like a moral to him. And to be king or pharaoh or a god, you had to have principles to you, virtues to you, to lead a people, that could trust you, especially in so-called primitive times, because shit was brutal back then. They was getting busy, like motherfuckers was really stepping like that. So when you think of this man in his lower nature, that's what I would say is just the higher and lower self coming together and understanding you one. But I was thinking to myself like, well, how can you overcome something that's already incorporated within your DNA? But then I said to myself, like, it ain't about overcoming it, it's about just controlling the forces. And that shit ain't an easy task. I'm not no saint over here, G. That shit is not an easy task. You go on Walmart, you see shorty, you want to bend it over right the fuck there on aisle 8. Have her ass like motherfucking Cat Williams off of Friday.
You was just gonna take it, wasn't you?
I'm guilty of this shit too. But it is truly a journey. But nevertheless, it's damn sure is definitely necessary. Because if you think about it, the economy runs off of men's lust, off of men's greed. It literally runs off of mankind lower nature. Because if we check this shit and we had our virtue intact, what they'd be selling? Not a motherfucking thing. Not to us anyway. Know what I'm saying? So, when you look at these things, it all comes full circle. And it's the moment you wake up, it's in our everyday lives. Now, back in the day, they had the community ring back in the balance. I was talking to one of my homies, and I'll be seeing some things online, and they say, well, it's in man's nature to be promiscuous. Where did that statement come from? Buddhist monks, they not promiscuous. They doing that shit over there in the monastery, and the monastery by choice. So it is possible that you can control the forces within you. You can control that animal nature within you. Like, now I'm saying, like, my whole thing is like, they just, it's just there. You like a Buddhist monk in the West, if you will, and that shit is not a motherfucking easy task. You understand what I'm saying? Now, even the Egyptians, when you look at on the hieroglyphs in the Egyptians, they had tournaments. They had wrestling tournaments because they understood this nature was very, very, very fucking present in them, and they had to be productive in channeling. The ultimate way, in my opinion, to channel your lower nature is physical things. Working out. The body gotta move. You know, the electric magnetic being. Like, I mean, we have to move. And that's like the primary way of controlling the force within you. When you look at Floyd, that's control force in boxing. That's control force. It's power in that shit. Now, I mean, to be that tactical and control that force, that's mankind ultimate power. You know what I'm saying? To me, it is anyway. Like, now, I mean, think about football. Like, they on the line, they sitting there and all that built up energy ready to snap that ball, and they there with all that built up energy ready to go. That is motherfucking control force. And I feel like that's what we have to understand as men. Now, feed that shit, because you have to feed it. You have to feed it. But, like, we just gotta feed that shit productively. You know what I mean? And, you know, like I said earlier, it's difficult because every time you see some food, what happened? That dog come out in you. Every time you see a shorty, what happened? That dog come out in you. Now, I mean, but what is going to be the end game of all this? What is going to be the end game of all this when it comes to relationships, when it comes to lust, when it comes to the other 90%? Because I say about like only 95% of men going to truly tap into that motherfucking energy and really lock in. Like, I mean, what's going to happen to the other 95%? Like, what are they going to create a world? So check this shit out, and I'm going to come back.
This mean technology like what Elon Musk just released, the virtual sex bot girlfriend. My theory is that we're going to see fewer men wanting to be passport bros, which I think is a plus, is a good thing. But the irony is that it's not that those men are going to revert to approaching women in real life. Those men are just going to revert to only having AI girlfriends and AI sex bots, which is then going to make men even more timid, weak, fragile, afraid to approach women in public. Or the reverse is going to happen. It also will make some men more violent. Because as we know, men that, you know, not all, but men who tend to have an obsession with pornography, men who tend to have an obsession with that don't understand women, and they see women as objects, and they, you know, a lot of those men end up doing very harmful things towards women. So I believe this technology, on one end, I just think it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Because the psychosis of the human brain, a man who's interacting with an AI girlfriend, that's not healthy for your brain. Because your brain, our brains, when we're in a relationship, part of the reason God gave us relationships through the friction, it develops us and it grows us. And it puts a mirror to our face, and it challenges us to level up and become better. And so I believe this is dangerous for a myriad of reasons. But one of the reasons I believe it's dangerous is that I believe it's going to further create a society of men that won't want to be challenged. They won't want a woman who could truly be a partner in their lives. And I want to be clear, I'm not a man who believes in like being with a masculine woman who's trying to like, prove she more of a man than you. Nevertheless, we can't get to the point to where we want literal robots. And we're like, nope, I don't want you. I just want you to shut up. Just do what I say. Don't give me any pushback. Because that doesn't develop you as a human being in society. That doesn't grow you, shape you, develop you. And so I think this is incredibly dangerous. And I don't think this is going to be healthy for society at all. I believe this will be more devastating than even corn is. Those are my thoughts on it. But Ash, what do you actually think about that release with
Ain't that some shit? Motherfucking AI girlfriends. First you got the passport bros. Now what you gonna have? Motherfucking AI bros? I mean, honestly, I'll be timid to stick my joint in one of them motherfuckers. What if an ethical hacker hacked that shit? You know what I'm saying? This for the fun of it or something. I mean, and cut your whole man's off. That shit dangerous. But this is an interesting time that we in because I really want to see how this shit, because by 2030, all this shit gonna play out. It's gonna be the end result of all this shit we're going through. And I'm really just curious to see what's gonna go down. Motherfucking, but until then, stay grounded and stay fucking righteous, bro. Stay righteous, man. So stay grounded. Focus on harness that energy. Harness that animalistic energy as we talked about earlier. You know what I'm saying? And we go all run with the tribe together. Until then, I'll be in my cave, man. I'll holler at y'all.